Hey everyone, welcome to a new video. I hope you had a great day. Let's take a look at some new tales from retail, shall we? The first story is called Rich Man Puts Down a Karen. This happened a few years ago and I am still relishing in the glory. I work at a large US auto parts store. Now Mr. Moneybags is a regular customer and when he comes in we jump for joy as his purchases are in the thousands of dollars. I'm helping him look up parts and get them for him when Karen walks in and rushes to the seat cover aisle. She grabs the ugliest bejeweled fall leather seat cover and rushes up to the front. She screams, "The prices on these covers are outrageous. $60 for these?" I do agree that the price is high and would have helped her. "Ma'am, I will be with you in just a second after I finish helping this customer. Or my manager will be here in a moment and he will help you." I'm sure, but she cuts me off. "No, you will help me now. I have money. And you will stop being so lazy and help me right now." And at this point, I decided that I won't help her. My manager walks up and asks, "Can I help you, ma'am?" "Yes, tell your lazy employee to do his job." At this point, I stop listening to her and continue helping the rich customer. He points to the seat cover and asks, "Do you have any more of those?" I say, "Let me check," and find that yes, we have 3 more besides that one. He asked, "Can you please get them for me?" Which I did. Then he addresses Karen. "Are you gonna buy that?" Karen answers in a rude tone, "I haven't decided yet." So he grabs it from her and tells me that he wants to buy all 4 with cash. Remember, these are $60 plus tax each. I happily make the sale. And after this, the rich man makes something we should all hope happens to every Karen. He proceeds to take them out of the boxes and cuts them into ribbons in front of her. And then he throws them away with a huge smile. He then returned to me to finish his shopping list that ended up being a whopping $4,000 plus. Meanwhile, Karen starts to scream, "He can't do that." But the manager said, "He paid for it, he can. Now leave the store, you are not welcome here anymore." I love this manager's zero tolerance policy on customers cussing out employees. The next story is called I Don't Speak the Language. I used to work at a Brazilian supermarket in Florida. The customers were pretty much all Brazilians, leading to almost everybody speaking Brazilian Portuguese. My parents are from there, but I was born in North America. Although I do know how to speak Portuguese, sometimes my American accent bleeds through and sometimes I don't know a word or two. People usually understand, but not this one lady. She did have something to say about it. I was behind the customer service desk, so I couldn't leave, but the lady asked me where something was. It was around the corner, near a certain shelf. I couldn't remember what the word for shelf was, so I think I said fixture that holds things or something like that. Fixture that holds things? What the heck is that? Do you even speak Portuguese? Yes ma'am, I'm sorry I forgot the word for that. I point to the shelf, but what you are looking for is right around it. Keep in mind the shelf was inside of both of us, but she didn't want to look. You don't speak Portuguese. Get me someone else to help. I'm a little confused. I mean, it's just one word I didn't know, but my manager happens to appear and I figure she's not busy. Keep in mind, this conversation was all in perfect Portuguese. "Maria, would you be able to help this woman?" Apparently I don't speak Portuguese, so I'm not able to communicate with her. She doesn't understand anything I'm saying, because even though it sounds like Portuguese, she said it's not. So honestly, I'm not really sure what language I'm speaking. But that doesn't really matter, I guess. She needs help finding this item, which I said was over there, but I guess she needs to hear that in Portuguese, which, again, I apparently don't speak. It turned out that Maria was well aware of this customer and she complained about everything. So she wasn't surprised that she was acting like an idiot. She almost stopped as she had to stifle some laughter during my monologue. The lady just kind of looked like someone had slapped her with an idiot stick. The third story is called Please Leave. I work in a UK phone shop. One day, a couple of months ago, I stood outside the shop at 8:50 waiting for my manager to come down and let me in. There's a middle-aged woman standing outside as well, glaring at me, tapping her foot and huffing impatiently. Bad sign. At 9 AM, we open the doors and she comes stomping in, straight up to me. I open my mouth, but she doesn't give me a chance to speak. She bought her phone 3 months ago and it doesn't work anymore apparently. She wants a refund. Now, before this conversation goes any further, I feel I have to point out to her straight away that a refund is not going to be possible after this length of time. After 30 days we can send it off for repair, but that's it. Don't argue with me, she screeches. Okay. I asked her if I can have a look at her phone. She rolls her eyes and hands it over. After a few seconds it becomes clear that her internal memory has been filled up with photos, and so there isn't any space to install a software update. So there isn't actually anything wrong with her phone at all. With my best retail smile, I begin to explain this to her and mention that she can always buy an SD card and move her photos onto that, and hey presto, problem solved. But no, she wants a refund. We are back onto that. I tell her I'm going to go and speak to my manager. I go upstairs and we laugh at her, the usual. But he still comes back down with me to back me up because she's getting pretty horrible. We then spend another 10 minutes or so trying to convince her that literally all we can do is send her perfectly working phone off for repair. She's now telling us she's going to go to trading standards, quoting the Consumer Rights Act at us. Basically, she's the biggest cliché going. Eventually, she admits defeat. But she still wants it repaired. So I sit her down and start to take some details. Why do you want my details? I'm literally on the edge here. Eventually, she tells me her first name. I start to type it in. She can see the screen as Gil, and then she says, "No, you stupid girl, it's spelled J-I-L-L, speaking slowly." I raise my eyes to her and give her a big sickly sweet smile and apologize profusely. I then ask her for her surname. Let's see if you can spell this right, shall we? At which point I sit back and I say, "I'm sorry, but I am not going to serve you." She goes bright red and starts sputtering, kicking off, calling me thick, rude and such. My manager comes over and tells her calmly to leave. I am taking this all the way to the top. Feel free, but please leave. The last story is called She Muscled Her Way in a Closed Door. Our store was opening up a new department, and some of the day staff had been called in to help the night staff fill the shelves for tomorrow's big opening. There was quite a lot of night staff raucously running around throughout the store, and a small handful of day staff cloistered in the new department. I was at the new department's computer going over the new stock when I see someone approaching from the foreground. I look up expecting to see a staff member, but instead I see a very heavily pregnant woman slowly waddling up to the counter. This woman is in utter shambles. Her hair is disheveled, her drooping eyes are sunken and engulfed in deep dark circles. She's wearing a pink pajamas, complete with fluffy pink slippers, contrasted heavily by what is surely a contender for the most badass leather jacket I've ever seen. That thing had chains coming off of its chains. It took her the better part of a minute to walk down the aisle and up to the counter. During that time, my mind was racing. How did she get into the store? And how did she get this far into it without being stopped by anyone? This was not someone who would casually escape notice. Anyway, she gets up to the counter and we converse. I was baffled and bewildered and said, "Hey?" The woman, after catching her breath, looks up and smiles weakly. "Hey. How did you get into the store? We are actually closed right now." The front door was open. We had examined security footage the day after to see how she got in. And sure enough, the heavy automatic doors were open by about half an inch. And despite her condition, after several laborious minutes, she had somehow found the strength needed to muscle the doors open right enough to squeeze through. I see. Well, we are still closed, so... I was told that you can still operate the register. Now I was even more baffled and bewildered. Who told you this? She was looking over towards the direction of the entrance. They said that the registers were locked, but that you had a card that could open it. Instinctively, I reached down to my belt for the admin control card and rested my hand on it for a moment. Yes, my card can override the system. However, all the money has already been counted from the cashier's registers. Oh, I see. Well, what? What if I paid by card? That would work, right? That would work, but we are closed. But I suppose you've already come this far. Okay then, sure, let's do this. Thank you, this is greatly appreciated. She turns around and starts waddling off. Wait, this register isn't operational yet. Once you have your items, take them to the register at the front, the one closest to the exit. I'll be there. She smiles and then nods. So she waddles off, a great deal faster than she had arrived, as if possessed of a newfound purpose. Meanwhile, I shook off some of the night's zombification and I slowly shuffled my way to the front of the store. After about 10 minutes later, I saw her waddling into view and toward the counter. She was carrying her single item in both hands and with great care, reverently placed it atop the counter. When I finally got a good look at the item and my mind registered what it was, my heart almost broke in two. It was infant cough syrup. Suddenly there was a moment of pure clarity where everything just made sense. And sure enough, after she paid for her item and thanked me once again and left, I spoke to my coworkers, who all confirmed the conclusion I had already reached. She ran into several staff, all of whom confronted her, but none of whom could bring themselves to turn her away once her purpose was revealed. The night staff were the first to intercept her, all of whom apologized profusely that they couldn't help, but directed her towards the team leader who might. The team leader then directed her towards the new department where the day staff was. I asked what they would have done if it were any other night, and they said that they would have just given her the item. Once she reached the new department, the day staff confronted her and directed her towards me. A few even mentioned my admin card and that she would most assuredly get served. She had tried several petrol stations before she had arrived at our retail park. Desperation had brought her. In one way or another, she was going to leave the retail park with what she came for. Thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like, comment and subscribe to the channel for more content. Let me know what you think about the video in the comment section below. Have a great day. Bye bye.